Well, my name's Guthrie Texino. I was born in Mesa, Arizona, and I currently call Chicago, Illinois my home for most of the year. It also happens to be the railroad capital of the North American continent. I remember getting off work late at night and coming home after breaking my back for minimum wage, and I found this zine on the table that a roommate left. I guess it's more of a book. And the title of that book is A Brief Period of Juvenile Prosperity by Mike Brody. And in that, I saw for the first time what was contemporary photos of train hopping in the United States, and I just knew from then that it was something I had to do. The first time I hopped a train was probably a year or two after I opened that book. I found myself in Winslow, Arizona, a hot May afternoon. Didn't know too much about what I was doing, but what I saw was a train pulling out of their yard, eastbound for Belen, New Mexico. I knew that much. And I just ran up and I grabbed a ladder and I climbed aboard, and I found myself sitting on what I would later realize and learn was referred to as a suicide car. A suicide car, as I know it to be, is essentially a rail car that has loaded cargo on it, a shipping container, but what has an exposed bottom. You could easily fall off, and that's it. That's the end of everything. And so you have to kind of be on your toes and really be aware and certainly not fall asleep. I remember climbing up the ladder of that first train, picking up speed, absolutely full of fear and excitement. And I peered in and I saw that it was an exposed bottom. I started to kind of question what it was I was doing, and I was terrified, rightfully so. Later on, I realized and I really learned that that's not a ride you want. You know, there's a risk involved and you can wind up in a lot of trouble, but you can also get away with a lot and you can see a lot. The history of the railroad is not a good one. It's not a pretty one. It was built on the backs of exploited workers and slaves and stolen land. And it kind of continues to this day as a sort of manifestation of capitalism. And even though it kind of represents something that is evil, when you kind of sneak a ride onto that train, you're sort of taking back something we all deserve, which is to be able to live freely and travel freely and cross state lines, cross these imaginary borders. And I think that's what's so liberating, finding a free ride to get from one place to another. I think every train you catch kind of like is symbolically like a new opportunity, a new passage for you, and it can provide hopefully a better future. Maybe not always, but at the very least you're moving and you're not stagnant. I think one of my favorite things about riding the rails are the people and the stories that I come across. I've met a lot of different people going a lot of different ways. They would sort of explain to me life on the rails and what it was like and how to go about it. I just remember what I saw was people not necessarily creating things, but living creatively. And I think that's what really hooked me, and I think it's those stories that I kind of live for, to be honest. It really kind of keeps a fire burning underneath me.
This is Guthrie Texino, reported live from a train zooming eastbound for Belen, straight out of Winslow. Look forward to the next time we talk.